this is the definition of Lot in Acts chapter 1, verse 26. It says, an object used for casting or drawing lots, which was either a pebble or potsherd or a bit of wood. The lots of several persons concerned, inscribed with their names, were thrown together into a vase, which was then shaken, and whose lot first fell upon the ground was the one chosen.
Right.
And transliteration or the pronunciation of it would be kleros.
Right. So the Most High controls the lots, all right? And that goes back to the Hebrew word gawara, all right, which means actual pebble or item like dice or something that you can break off and cast a lot with. All right. Now let's go to a spiritual lot dealing with the Most High and concerning the nations. Get that, brother?
This is Psalms chapter 16, verse 5.
Yep.
The Lord is the portion of mine inheritance.
Right. Somebody got that Daniel, what say, the Watcher, and you say rules in the kingdom of men?
Yeah, I got it.
Go ahead, brother.
Verse 5. The Lord is the portion of mine inheritance, and of my cup thou maintainest my lot.
Right, man. So who maintains our lot in this truth is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. That's who maintains our lot all the way to the end. Go ahead, brother, with that Mazan. You said John. What you told John? The Baptist, the Revelator.
God. This John the Revelator. You know, this precept is coming out of Revelation chapter 10. This is basically the angel giving on to John the Revelator the little book, man. Basically, the whole road, the eating of the road, like he told Ezekiel.
Right.
All right, I'm going to go straight to the point. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 10, verse 11. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many people and nations and tongues and kings.
Right. And that's what he told John the Revelator on the Isle of Patmos. You know, and John the Revelator died after that. But he told him in the future he's going to be prophesying in these times. And he promised that to send his comforter to keep us in these times, right? Go ahead, brother. He said what? Prophesy what again?
It said, I'm going to start over.
Yeah, go back.
This is Revelation chapter 10, verse 11. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many people, and nations, and tongues, and kings.
Right, man. So, you know, and that's the Lord keeping our spirit. Today, if you're in this truth, the spirit of the prophet is subject unto the prophet. All right, and the Lord is promising to reveal this prophecy to you, man. And the prophecies are signs that keep the elect in the spirit. And keep you from slacking, and keep you from being a sluggard or doubtful, man.
I got a precept.
Go ahead, brother.
You got Daniel 12 and 13?
No, go ahead.
Alright, so basically he told Daniel the same thing. Alright, this is Daniel chapter 12. In verse 13 it says, but go thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in the lot of the end of the days.
Right, we read that earlier. Yeah, but I wanted it again though, it's right on point. So he told so, you know, and that's what he told him. You're going to stand in your lot, alright? Now, we got to get that definition of that word lot again now.
Daniel?
Yeah, Daniel 13. Alright, he said you're going to stand in your lot, man. At the end of days, and we're at the end of days now, the end of what? Esau's kingdom, the end of Esau's rulership, the end of our punishment. Alright, so Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. And all of the plans and imaginations, devices that Esau has imagined against us, and weapons, the Lord has a standard that's going to be set against that. Alright. You got it?
Yeah.
I was like, why you don't get that? You got here early now.
Okay.
I got it.
2:11.
I got it.
It's cool. Okay. So this is the word lot. As we said again, alright, it's gawara, alright, which is a pebble or a portion. Alright, so he's gonna stand in his portion that's given to him. And that portion, it's a thing assigned by casting lots. Now that portion that's going to be given to Daniel is for him to be a prophet in these days. Go ahead, brother. You had a point.
This is Revelation chapter 22, verse 11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. He which is filthy, let him be filthy still. He that is righteous, let him be righteous still.
That's right, man.
And he that is holy, let him be holy still.
Right. And the only reason anybody is righteous at all is because the Lord breathed that breath into them.
That's their lot to be righteous. That's their lot to be righteous, and if a filthy person is still filthy, that's their lot to be filthy. Vessels fitted for destruction.
That's right, man.
Esau, he's fitted for destruction. It's his lot to be the carnal ruler of this world right now, but it's our lot to destroy this play kingdom and establish a righteous, true kingdom here on earth.
That's right, man. All right.
In order for you to rebuild, you got to tear down the modern day kingdom, and that's what the Lord doing with it through the mouthpiece of His prophets with His word. All right, we tearing down these strongholds and these imaginations that been upon our people. So the Lord basically reincarnated again. The prophets are back here once again, and we're doing the same thing we were doing in the times of old.
That's right, man. All right. Daniel, my bad. Go ahead with that one again, brother. Esther, chapter 10.
No, this is Esther chapter 10. We start at verse 3, or rather verse 6. A little fountain became a river.
Right. That river, or fountain, represents Benjamin, and that river represents Esther.
And there was light, and the sun, and much water. The river is Esther,
There you go.
whom the king married and made queen.
Right. Now, who is that? If you read the book of Esther in the Old Testament, it says Ahasuerus. Ahasuerus is actually Xerxes. You know, Ahasuerus is Xerxes. Now, in Esther in the Apocrypha, it says Artaxerxes, but it says the Great. So it's not talking about Artaxerxes who started ruling in 465 BC. Who it's talking about there is Xerxes who started ruling in 486 BC to 465. Alright? Now, I hope we can get into this, man, because it's going to be good. Go ahead, brother. So this happened around 483. So it's 3 years after the beginning rule of Xerxes. Alright? And Xerxes is the one that coined it, because originally it was called Pars, which is Persia. Alright? And you have, it was originally called Pars or Persia, and once he took Media, they joined up. Alright, once Cyrus took Media from Astyages, which was the father of his wife, of Cyrus's wife. Now, when Cyrus took Media through his general Darius is the one that threw Daniel into the lion's den. Once he did that, a certain time in his rulership, Xerxes coined the Persian and Mede Empire as the Medial Persian Empire. It became one empire. So he's the one that coined it as this. Alright, go ahead, brother.
And the two dragons are I and Ammon.
Right, the two dragons represent Mordecai and Haman. Alright, Haman, which is the Edomite. Alright, go ahead.
And the nations were those that were assembled to destroy the name of the Jews.
Right, and that's a cut on you idiots out there that's saying that I forgot what he said, Judah or Solomon or somebody killed all the Edomites.
Huh?
Yeah, they try to say he killed all the Edomites. Well, they killed all the Edomites in that area at that time. You got Esau right here.
Yeah,
Right, I was
trying
about
to say
to
that the prophecy of Obadiah 1 and 18 was already fulfilled.
Yeah.
So trying to discredit the so-called white man as being the Edom.
Yeah. But you got an Edomite right here during 583 BC.
So you saying Israelites all over us right now? Like, that don't make no
483 BC.
sense.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm saying this just don't make no sense.
Alright. That's right, brother. Go ahead.
Continuing. And the nations were those that were assembled to destroy the name of the Jews.
Right, so they were all assembled to destroy the name of the Jews. What's that, Psalms? 83? These scriptures is lying out, man. Yeah. Psalms 83?
Got it. In Psalms chapter 83, verse 1, it says, "Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh,
hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. For lo, thy enemy make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsels against our people, and consulted against our hidden ones.
Right, man. And we represent the hidden ones, all right, that dwell in the secret places of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, all right, under his protection. Go ahead.
And they said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be may be no more in remembrance.
That's right, man. And they all were confederate against us. Somebody get second Ezra's 2 and 5, all the way 7. So they were confederate against us. You know, they were always against us, man. They're against the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. They're against our faith. They're against our culture, our customs. Because they're considered unclean, you know, and we used to torment them with the Lord's word. Go ahead, brother.
Alright, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 2, verse 5.
Yep.
As for me...
Yeah, let anybody know if you can't hear him too, brother.
Go on. As for me, O Father, I call upon thee for a witness over the mother of these children, which will not keep my covenant.
Right, 2/3.
That thou bring them to confusion.
Yep, and 2/3 of our people have been brought to confusion. Go ahead.
And their mother...
what's that? They've been brought to where? Babylon. Babylon is a place of confusion. Go ahead.
And their mother to a sport.
Who is our mother? Jerusalem is the mother of us all. Right? If anybody will get that too, but if not, though, so that's the water. But, you know, the scriptures say that's our home. That's our mother. Right? And that... Even our land has went into captivity with us, man. You got the fake Jews over there in that land. Our land is mourning. That's why they say the whole earth mourning together into the manifestations of the sons of God. Go ahead, brother.
This is Galatians chapter 4. I'm going to start at verse 26. It says, but Jerusalem, which is how you say the word Jerusalem in the Paleo-Hebrew, Yerushalayim.
City of peace.
It says, which is above is free, which is the mother of us all.
Right. And how are we above? Deuteronomy 7 and 6. So Jerusalem is the mother of us all. That's our homeland. Right? And our mother has been spoiled as well, our land. All right?
Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Whoever get it first.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. It says, for thou art an holy people, unto the Lord Yahweh, the Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
That's right, man. So even our land is above every land upon this earth. All right?
Precept saying how our land is in captivity. Alright, this is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 24. Wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses, and I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease, and their holy place shall be defiled.
That's right, man. And our holy place was defiled actually we defiled it. Our own people defiled it. You know, they say, what is that? The scum whose pot is still therein. That was a judgment on us, and it's gonna be on Babylon. All right. What's that scripture, man? It says scum.
And it's crazy because our land, we defiled our land also, but when he said he'll send the worst of the heathen, alright, you know, any other nation other than the children of Israel are heathen nations, alright, but what's the top tribe of the heathen nations? The tribe of Esau. What's the top tribe of Esau? Amalek. And that's what's over there in our land today.
Damn bastard.
Well, scripture say a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
God, man.
Right. Well, we ain't got to get it, but Ezekiel 24, man. And that's when the Lord sent Nebuchadnezzar up into our land. You know, we have to read the whole chapter to get the point, though. But and that's a curse that's going to fall on Esau, on this land, Babylon. All right. Well, go ahead, brother. Whoever's reading it.
John, this is Esther, chapter 10.
What you was reading?
Second Ezra.
Yeah, 5 and 7. 5. No, second Ezra's
2 and 5 all the way to 7.
I'm at 6. Alright, second Ezra.
2 and 5. You said 5, brother.
Alright, this is the book of second Ezra, chapter 2, verse 5. As for me, O Father, I call upon thee for a witness over the mother of these children, which would not keep my covenant, that thou bring them to confusion, and their mother to a spoil,
Right.
that there may be no offspring of them.
Right, and that was the point. All right, that's why in the book of Daniel you have the 7-year prophecy, because he said those things had to happen first. We had to be cast out of the land completely. All right, the Lord wasn't going to leave no remnants there. We were cast out of that land, or the wickedness at least, of our people. We were cast out of that land, because you still had people like Jeremiah and them that were left there. But we were cast out of that land, and then later on when Yahweh showed up on the scene, the Lord rebuilt the temple. All right, spiritually I'm talking about. Now, that was it on that, right?
I still got verse 7.
Go ahead, brother.
Let them be scattered abroad among the heathen. Let their names be put out of the earth, for they have despised my covenant.
Right, so our name was put out of the earth, man, by who? These nations. Alright? Through confusion, through them trying to corrupt our book, painting the likeness of their images, threatening us, saying we can't keep our covenants, like Antiochus Epiphanes the fourth. He put out a decree that all Israel had to keep pagan customs. Alright? And I think he started ruling in 175, if I'm not mistaken. He started ruling in 175 BC. Alright, and then in 168, he found out that, he said, you know what? Actually, can somebody get that on the Google? Antiochus Epiphanes. Anybody get it? Quick as possible. If not, I get it.
Antiochus Epiphanes.
Yeah, the fourth. Antiochus the fourth. And he was the main one that started pushing paganism on the nation. Alright? Antiochus the third, the second, and the first, they really wasn't into that. They was just into conquering lands. And building a successor position for themselves in the Adian dynasty, which was the Alexandrian dynasty. They went against that, forming the Diadochi over there in Syria, which became the new capital of their paganism. All right? Go ahead, brother.
All right, this is 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 1. It says, not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers.
Right, all the way to 12, brother? All the way to 12?
Oh, you already have that?
No, all the way to 12? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, it says, and not to live after the laws of Yahweh. And
right.
to...
So Antiochus, this Edomite, and the scriptures tell you he was wicked. Somebody get that, 1 Maccabees?
I got the
1:11.
Just move, yo, you gotta move that fast.
1:4.
Yeah, 1 Maccabees. We came here to work, man.
Wonderful. This is 1 Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 4.
Right.
Alright, it says, and he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him.
The wicked room.
Keep going.
Alright. And after these things, he fell sick.
Right, here's Alexander. Alexander fell sick. Go ahead.
And he fell sick and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him.
Right, and these were people that were looking out for his children. All right. And now those people were taken down by what you call today the Diadochi. All right, this was the creation of the Diadochi, meaning the successive families of the pagans that were ruling over there in Syria. So he didn't call Antiochus and all them to him. You know, he wasn't talking about them. It was a long period, and they actually killed his son. All right, Alexander. All right, go ahead, brother.
Verse 6, it says, wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth.
Right, keep going fast as you can. We're gonna run out of time.
And parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
Yep. So out of this Diadochi came what?
So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died.
Skip down to the wicked point, the wicked root. So,
All right. Verse 11. It says, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men.
No, you skipped it.
Oh,
Verse 10. Verse 10.
Somebody get it. Yeah, help them out.
Verse 10, you got it.
All right, verse 10, it says, and there came out of them a wicked root.
There you go.
Antiochus, surnamed
Epiphanes.
Right. So it was a wicked person that came out of the Diadochi. All right. So and the same, that lets you know that the Edomites are wicked. Haman was a wicked man. That's what the scriptures say about him in Esther. All right. So the same decree that Haman put out for the Israelites to be killed is the same decree that Antiochus put out. All right, in 168 for us. And now today, what Esau is devising for us today is what? Their new world order. So what they're gonna say? You can't do this, you can't do that, and they're gonna try to put the chip in you, you know. And what they're planning for us, the Lord gonna turn it around on them.
I got a quick precept.
Ooh.
Yeah, you
I
can
got a
pick
precept.
clip.
Clip it.